So welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome back to another great semester at Peralta. The district offices, Berkeley City College, College of Alameda, Laney College, and Merritt College. Welcome. Thank you for being here this morning. I am excited about this day. I'm excited that you're here, excited for what you're going to receive. I feel that this day for me is, it represents the best of our district. I will just tell you that the folks who are doing some of the afternoon workshops, some of our panelists who are going to be joining us up here a little bit later, have all just been extremely supportive and helpful and responsive and many times on short notice. And I think that's just really a testament to the spirit in Peralta that we have in abundance. But unfortunately, in some instances, we have regulated our successes. We've regulated our best attributes, sometimes to the margins. And so the professional development chairs at the 4 colleges, along with some of the work that was done with ACE, the Classified Senate, and classified staff at the district office, and faculty diversity internship program, we all got together and just talked about how can we make this event a lot more meaningful so that we can do things that are going to impact your experiences and your interactions with students immediately as soon as Monday. And so hopefully, we hope, English instructors shouldn't be using the word hopefully. We hope that, that after your experience today, one is you leave here with things that you can take into your interactions with students, whatever your roles may be, whether it is the collegial perspectives that you bring in to your administrative meetings, whether it be the interactions that you have when providing services to students, and most especially the interactions that we have in being mentors and educators for our students in the classroom. So we're hoping that today we will be giving you something to recognize your colleagues, what they are doing, as well as see things that they are doing that you are already doing, and you can find some connections to build upon your practices that you already have, that you already employ, as well as to build communities of practice within your departments, your college, and throughout the district. So we will begin shortly, but we always think that it's really important that our representative leadership introduce who they are, because we do have new folks who are here, or folks who may not have been as involved in our class, in our units, in our unions, in our senates. And so here's a chance for you to meet the people who represent you and to get us kicked off this morning.
All right. Good morning, all. So on behalf of the Peralta classified officers, to all of our classified staff, I wish to thank you for your work, your dedication, your insights, your collaboration, and your passion. Thank you for being here today representing those who are unable to attend today's events. My name is Roberto Gonzalez. I'm on staff at the Berkeley City College. I'm your interim president of the Peralta Classified Senate. Interim is actually the operative word here today, because it's actually time to pass the torch. The Peralta Classified Senate is gearing up to hold its elections for Senate officers, and that work needs to occur sooner than later in order to get real work continued. We especially want those who have not yet participated in shared governance matters to seriously consider joining the ranks of the Senate. I'd like you to encourage you to look to your left, look to your right, and look to yourself for the leadership of tomorrow. Effective and functional decision-making and action must not be made in a vacuum. And so to our recently hired classified staff, do we have any staff that's just been hired in the last couple of months here by chance? Anybody? Whether you're permanent or hourly. And to those of you who've been here at Peralta for a minute, please be part of the process. Make your perspectives known and demonstrate your untapped or underutilized talents. Otherwise, we are at risk of isolating ourselves and letting opportunities pass us by. And so, I am encouraging all staff, in spite of and because of your role in Peralta, to bear in mind our unified commitment to provide an enriching, quality, and transformative educational experience for our students. Make no mistake about it that you are, or you play a pivotal part in this endeavor. So today, the classified staff is meeting in F255 here at Laney, building F255. Join us, bring your ideas and opinions. There is real work to be done. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Buenos dias, good morning. I'm Mario Rivas, Faculty Senate, District Academic Senate Vice President, not the President. Cleavon is the President, but he's many other things. So welcome from the Senate, and I want to just say just a few words about the Senate. First of all, I want to recognize my colleagues, Kelly Purnell from BCC, Donald Moore from Laney College, Rochelle Olive from Alameda College, myself from Merritt College, and then all the senators that we need to stand, but recognize all the senators, all the faculty that lead committees on campuses. Essentially, the Senate is here to assert the 10+1 leadership on campuses. One of the major areas of leadership is program development. And to that end, the District Academic Senate is looking at establishing or doing a plenary session for faculty leadership. The other day, I was with a colleague at Merritt, and we were looking at this big binder of strategic planning that was done in 2007. And of the administrators that were here in 2007, out of 20 that were in that binder, there are only 2 in this district right now. So we, as a team, faculty, staff, administrators, the faculty, of course, is what I'm talking about, are central to leadership. We have to get involved, and it's a challenge. It really is a challenge. It's an emotional challenge, intellectual challenge, it's a behavioral challenge that we have to undertake. We have so many challenges, guided pathways. What are we going to do with that to really empower our students? Not just go along with the state, but what are we going to really do? Distance ed, non-credit. There's so many areas. Integrative planning, again, integrative planning, the faculty and the staff, and we as a team, if you look at that 22 ratio, we are the ones that are consistently here, and we have to assert leadership. So I want to, again, welcome you from the Senates, from the District Academic Senate. Recognize that this is a challenge that we face every day here. Last night I had a dream. It was interesting. I often have dreams before I have to speak up, give speeches. And I had my daughters when they were younger and they needed to study, and I was looking at them and said, damn, I haven't done enough, you know? So it's like my memory system. And this is the way it is with our students. They need so much, and we need to do so much. So let's work as best as we can, but let's take care of ourselves and each other. We don't take care of each other enough. And have a wonderful semester. Happy New Year, and thank you.
So I'd like to start off by thanking Cleavon Smith for serving as our District Professional Development Officer and for all the great work that he's done in that role. And then I'd like to welcome Scott Hoshida, who I think is outside working. Scott, are you in here? As he enters into the role. He's out front. But let's give him a round of applause to Scott. So thanks to both of them for organizing today's activities, and thank you to all of you for taking the time to attend this morning. I'm looking forward to Chancellor Laguerre's remarks as usual, and I'm happy to see everybody looking so well-rested and ready to charge into the spring. I'm Jennifer Shanoski. I'm president of the Peralta Federation of Teachers. We're AFT Local 1603. We're the union that represents all 1,100 faculty, full and part-time faculty. We represent teachers, counselors, librarians, and nurses. I'd like to begin my remarks this morning by thanking all of our faculty members for the energy and engagement that they showed throughout the fall semester. We accomplished a ton of really important tasks, including, but not limited to, the reactivation of PFT's subcommittees, the formation of a PFT budget oversight committee, strengthening our relationships with our parent union, the CFT, as well as our brothers and sisters at SEIU 10-1 and Local 39, organizing attendance at a number of local rallies and marches, running an effective membership drive here at Laney College, which many of you participated in, providing additional oversight on administrative decisions, and collaborating with faculty, staff, and community members to advocate against the building of a baseball stadium on Peralta land. In addition to this, we continue to represent members, provide representation and support to our members. These gains all signal new energy and focus for the PFT, and we feel like this is just the beginning. Nationally, we're expecting a decision from the Supreme Court this coming June that has the potential to debilitate the labor movement. And we also have an economy and a culture that continues to put the interests of the wealthiest few over the rest of us. Corporations are getting tax cuts, and working people are building tent cities. Within Peralta, we continue to have a lot of questions. The budget, which was deemed healthy when adopted in September, is mired in confusion. Reserves went from 14% to 5% in 2 months, and it seems like millions of dollars are flowing in and out with little discussion about how, why, and what we'll do to avoid it in the future. The district continues to rely on an inordinate number of interim administrators. These positions are filled outside the participatory governance structure, and while they may follow the letter of California Ed Code, they violate our own administrative procedures and run roughshod over the collaborative spirit that many of us work so hard to foster here within the district. I would add that faculty should feel absolutely free to voice concerns about this and any other Peralta matters directly to their board. Trustees are elected public officials, and as both citizens and employees, we have the right and the responsibility to engage with them. Whether the issue is the district's flouting of its own policies or academic freedom in the classroom, PFT will fight for free speech rights of all faculty. Don't be afraid to speak out. Our myriad challenges require that we organize to be our best. By coordinating efforts through our local, we can fight more effectively for both our broad progressive principles and for our interests as Peralta faculty. In order to do that, we must continue to work together both within the union and with our sisters and brothers of the Senates and Locals 39 and 10-1. The PFT Executive Council, is anyone on the exec here today? I see a few PFT shirts. I recognize you guys. We meet twice a month. We'll also be holding general membership meetings and college chapter meetings regularly throughout the semester, and we'll announce the dates for those meetings in a welcome letter that'll come out next week. This Saturday, we'll be leading a contingent for the Women's March here in Oakland, so we hope you'll join us for coffee and donuts at 9 o'clock at the PFT offices. We need all faculty to stand up and be heard. We need all faculty to know that the PFT is their union because they've made a conscious choice to participate. Faculty and staff working conditions are student learning conditions, and our students deserve the best. We're hosting a workshop this afternoon from 2:30 to 4 in room F202, and at that workshop, we'd like to get a sense from our faculty members about what you all feel like is important to you and work to develop some creative solutions to those problems. Thank you for your time and have a great spring.
My name is Molly Sealand, and I'm the political coordinator for the Peralta chapter of 10-1. you know it's hard when you get the call at the last minute, hey, can you get up there and say something? So I got my little text here. But you know, our unit, along with the PFT, works really hard to make the student experience meaningful. And we work, you know, pretty tirelessly with our staff, with our faculty, administrators, and we all need your support. We represent about 700 members, 50% permanent and 50% hourly. We're a pretty fantastic unit that directly supports student success at every level, from when they walk in the door to when they graduate. We're pretty invested in their success, which inspires us daily. And you don't see a lot of staff here today because they're trying to get that enrollment up. We do meet with the Chancellor monthly to foster open communication. It's an effective policy that really does support everyone. So we're glad he listens. We have site stewards at every site, and I don't see too many here, but they're probably busy registering students trying to get that number up. We do have chapter meetings once a month, and we do need folks to participate. So hopefully again in March, when we have another Flex Day, we'll have a lot more participation by our brothers and sisters for 1021. So if you come across a union member or a site steward and you have questions, they are there to answer them. So we're here to support you and our students. So let's have a great year. Thank you so much.
Okay, and so following along in our agenda, and you will hear me throughout the morning talk about, you know, just express some gratitude. And my next moment or person I wanted to thank is our Chancellor, who is going to give his welcome. When we were designing this day, we, the professional development chairs and others, were really adamant about this day being a day about practice and communities of practice. And the Chancellor, in observance of that and in recognizing the importance of that, offered to give up a great deal of his time that he usually has to give the state of the district. And so I wanted to just say publicly how grateful I was for that offer and to welcome our Chancellor, Dr. Joelle Laguerre.
Knowing that I didn't have a lot of as much time as I normally have, so I wanted to make sure that I get up here as quickly as I could. Each college has hired a new vice president during the over the break, or who started since the faculty was gone. So I'd like to ask the presidents to briefly introduce their vice presidents. We'll start with you, Dr. Gilkerson. Would you introduce?
Good morning. Welcome to Lincoln College, the Lincoln College. Good to have you all here. Such a blessing to start the new year with such an amazing community. I'm so pleased to introduce our new Vice President of Student Services, Nikki. Hails from Contra Costa College, where she was the Dean of Student Services for many years, overseeing many of the student services categorical programs, and really came to us with the full support of everybody in the hiring process. So we're thrilled to have her here and look forward to continued good work and success. All the best to all of you.
Dr. Karras, this is not an example of how you should introduce your vice president, but
administrative team, like most of the four colleges in our district. And so we are welcoming Dr. Don Miller. much with, and I'm going to be ending now. I have the mic. So once again, Dawn is our Vice President of Instruction, so if you have any questions, feel free to contact Dawn and not myself anymore, so I'm really, really happy. And so, once again, thank you very much, and welcome to spring.
Dr. Mary Elaine Burns.
Good morning. Happy New Year. I'd like to introduce to you our new Vice President at the one and only Merritt College. Christine Hernandez comes to us from Sacramento City College with over 20 years experience in community college. She was a Dean of Financial Aid and Student Services, and so we're looking forward to great things from her. Fantastic references. So she's going to be doing a great job for us. So as Tim said, so now you can direct your questions to Christine. Thank you.
Dr. Tomine.
Okay, so you can see we have lively competition. So I'm Rowena Tomine, president of Simply the Best, Berkeley City College. So happy New Year, everyone. I'm so pleased to be taking off my hat of acting VPI at BCC, and I'd love to introduce Cooney Hay, our new Vice President for Instruction. And Cooney comes to us from her work at Mission, West Valley Mission District, where she was a VPI there for many years and has even led the CIO group when I was down south in the region. So we're very lucky to have her, and feel free to talk with her and get to know her during the day. So welcome.
Thank you.
We also hired a Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Vice Chancellor Romania Johnson. She joined us with a lot of great experience, including a stint in California, Detroit, Washington, D.C. And as she heard some of the comments today, she knows that she has her work cut out for her, and I asked her whether or not she was ready for it. She said she's a brave soul and she can do it. So she's going to be leading our finance, and I'm very, very pleased to have her with us. And we know that it's an area that we need to do a lot of work in. I would simply ask for your patience, understanding, commitment, and involvement in making the transformation that we want to see. This afternoon at 1 p.m., there's a dialogue with the district. And I would like to take that time for those of you who can make it at 1 o'clock to really talk about the district office, and especially about some of the decisions that we make. For example, when we talk about interims, I just want you to know that I do not make these decisions recklessly. It really takes a lot of time, a lot of thought before we make them, and I would love to take the time to really explain that to you, or if you ever want to drop by for me to explain that to you, any one of you, I'd be happy to do that. Welcome back to our second semester of the academic year, and welcome to an innovative Flex Day program designed by our professional development committees. I want to congratulate Academic Senate President, District Academic Senate President Cleveland Smith, and the committee for working collaboratively to create today's program, one that is already receiving great reviews, as well as Dr. Giselle Georgie for sharing her excitement for the program with Professor Smith and Hoshida. While thanking folks, let me take this opportunity to thank Dr. Mel King, who has served us well as Interim Associate Vice Chancellor for Workforce Development and Continuing Education. When Peralta Community College District earns millions of dollars in non-credit apportionment, we might just forget who made it happen. I will forever be grateful for her outstanding leadership of workforce development and continuing education, and particularly for taking us from having only the potential to do non-credit to actually creating an infrastructure to support non-credit and for establishing opportunities for professional development, training, and important partnerships. Dr. King will leave us on January 31st, and she will be replaced by Dr. Deborah Jones in this endeavor. So if you would please help me thank Dr. King for her work. And how can we ever forget Yashika Crawford, Chief of Staff? Dr. Crawford will teach her first class at the College of Marine on Monday. While, we have a trick we want to play on her there, but don't share that with her. While at Peralta, she did so much with our shared governance process and was a pillar to building a new Peralta way. But you cannot take the teacher out of some of us. So she went back to her passion of being a teacher and is now doing what Krista McAuliffe so brilliantly stated: I touch the future, I teach. Finally, as some of you know, I served as president of Solano Community College, where I made many lasting professional friendships. One person in particular who always wanted to teach me something. He was a philosopher professor, academic senate president, and distinguished faculty, and at times had run-ins with presidents, including me, became a dear colleague when he discovered that my primary interest was truly centered on teaching and education, and that I was truly accessible to faculty. I recalled one day he was on his way to my office for a chat, and someone stopped him and asked him where he was going. He told them that, told me that the person was shocked that he was meeting with me, an administrator who was supposedly too busy to meet with faculty to discuss substantial issues in education. He was always here when I speak, and sadly, we abruptly lost Tom a week ago, but his widow, Dr. Annette D'Ambrosio, is firm in her commitment to continue to support the work of Peralta and is here today. Tom was usually here too, proud of his former president and proud of his wife's efforts to continue to improve education. So I would like to ask you to recognize Tom's life and also Dr. D'Ambrosio's commitment to Peralta by giving her a round of applause. So please remember that life is less about baseless accusations, calling countries shitholes, and arguing about budgets. Haitians are having a field day with that. Life is truly about valuing the talent and the beauty that is in all of us, the talent and beauty that is in all of us, and treating each day with respect and love. I meant to tell you last year, I really did, it was in my remarks, but I really wanted to tell you in the fall how much I love each and every one of you, despite our occasional disagreement and our struggles. We have faced many crises together, and only when we value one another will we be successful in navigating through them. Today, as Professor Smith have already shared with you, I have foregone my usual remarks and formal address and awards and all of that so that the program can have plenty of time, and I'm watching my time. So I'm going to talk briefly about three things. So one of them is the state of the budget and future of the budget. The governor's January budget looks very good for the community colleges. I shared highlights with you earlier. The budget contains some interesting ideas, including a plan to implement a new online community college coming from the Chancellor's office in Sacramento. Furthermore, funds are included for California Promise and a base allocation increase as well as a new funding formula to be determined. We are currently receiving about $5,000 for every FTES for our base. That number will increase next year. Finally, the budget partially funds the Lenny College Center, Resource Center and Library, as well as the Merritt College Child Development Center. We are very pleased that these two programs finally have received the funding that they need from the state. In the past year, I have witnessed criticism of my administration for fiscal imprudence, and I would like to dispel some rumors and to present you with some facts and to inform you of how we will proceed to assure that transparency in our budget improves and is understandable to all who are interested. And yet, yes, this commitment will take time and hard work and persistence and patience. The district, for a long time, knew there would be a need to save for the increase in STRS and PERS. These are increases to be borne by the employer, meaning the district, and not the employees, meaning you or me. However, recently, we elected to invest the increases in the base in other priorities. We now need to be more fiscally prudent and to save for the cost of STRS and PERS, beginning with the 2019 budget. The budget that was presented to us before we leave for the winter break did show, as President Szymanski shared with you, a significant shortfall. Now that after the auditors have presented their findings, I can report to you happily that the shortfall is not as bad as it was said that it was. Essentially, we had a journal entry error, and it was a big error, one that was made that created a deficit to us as opposed to a surplus. We are now designing more safeguards in our process and have mandated greater support and expertise in finance to minimize these errors. And this afternoon, if you come to our session, I'm not saying this so that everybody come to our session, because there are other sessions to go to, but if you come to our session, we can share more with you about the shortfall and where we are. However, we will send something formally to everyone so that we have a greater understanding of where we are on that. This semester, my aim is to ensure that the budget process is more understandable, more timely, and more transparent to all of you. As you know, we have formed an ad hoc budget committee with representatives from all major constituent groups, and I know that we are struggling to get it going, but I'm determined that it will get going. We will also continue our work to refine our existing BEM model and to implement needed changes. And I know one thing that everybody's interested is how much money is the district office keeping. We will make sure that is also very clear to everyone and have a dialogue about that. We must also look for new revenue and redesign existing revenue. As always, I ask you to rely on the facts regarding our budget decisions. The district, in terms of broad things that we want to do, the district will be concentrating on refining internal functions and strive to do with confidence, competence, and collaboration. We intend to especially focus on paying our bills, being responsive to external and internal constituents as a district office, carefully assessing our needs and then engaging in action. Our decision to not move forward with the Oakland Athletics letter taught us many lessons regarding assessment. We are committed more than ever to gather input from all of you to ascertain the needs we have as a district, to quantify that need, to know how much money we really need, and then to determine what partnerships are going to help us get there, and partnerships that really align with our mission. Last but not least, we intend to ensure that the district office is not responsible for colleges to incur accreditation sanctions. I commend all 4 colleges for working diligently on the midterm report due in March and pledge that we will stay on course to remain sanction-free. And I want to address briefly some IT implementation. The IT folks have asked me to speak on their behalf. Are we ready with the slide? Oh, okay. On December 12th, 2017, the board made the decision to modernize Peralta's business processes and PeopleSoft system that supports us. We needed a name for this undertaking, so we asked everyone, staff, faculty, and students, to submit their favorite names. We received 75 entries, and at the end of this project naming contest, we found a winner. And the winner is, I'm pleased to announce, the winner is One Peralta. This modernization project is for the good of all of Peralta, our staff, faculty, and students. One Peralta will enable us to continue to move forward as one into the new Peralta way. Thank you to Evelyn Lord, head librarian at Atlantic College, for creating and submitting this meaningful project name. As you know, our staff and faculty have been hindered by an outdated system and inefficient processes. What will faculty gain from this new process? Your students will be able to register effortlessly for classes. That is simple and streamlined processes. Automated time and absence management submission. We've admired this program long enough, and now it's time to make the change. Therefore, One Peralta is underway. Moving forward, we will standardize our processes, leveraging higher education best practices, automate manual processes, simplify our processes to make your day-to-day work easier. We understand the challenges that come with change, and we need your commitment to achieve success. Your input is a key piece of making effective change. It will help ensure this project's success directly. This project is challenging right now, and we appreciate your patience as it will lead to a sustainable, better future for Peralta. One Peralta may be short-term pain for long-term gains. And the way that I describe it, since we didn't do PeopleSoft the right way the first time, we have been paying for the pains for a long time. This time, the pain will be sharp, but it will be over rather quickly. That's what the IT folks have promised you. When we are faced with, and this is the end of the promotion for IT, when we are faced with a crisis, we should offer help and support to be a part of solving the crisis. I would urge you to always stand tall and to be counted as a problem solver. Those who engage in problem solving are those who will determine and refine what Peralta needs on a daily basis. Remember that our ultimate interest is to repair what might need fixing. We call that we are still building a new Peralta way. This new way is at times a struggle because embracing the new often requires patience and persistence. But I believe that we are truly building a new Peralta way, and our accomplishments to date are our testimony. In closing, I value your critique and value your constructive criticism. I love you as my dearest colleagues. You are life changers for our students. I wish you a happy new year and a rewarding spring semester wherein we can look back at our crisis and appreciate the opportunities that have arisen. As we look forward, we can acknowledge that we do well and build upon our accomplishments to provide an excellent education for our students. Thank you.
Simply the best, better than all the rest. Thank you. I'm sorry. I know, well, some people play bingo at these things, and I'm just going to just disclose right here. And I have a bingo card up here in front of me, and one of the bingo slots was the Chancellor singing, and he did not So if you were relying on that line, it didn't happen. It's not too late, so I decided to sing for you. But simply the best, you know, that I did a lot of, as a kid, in front of the mirror in my home, prancing back and forth, doing the little Tina Turner walk and dance as she was singing. I thought I had it pretty down pat. I'm not going to share that with you today, but the song is resonating with me mostly because, one, the fun that you saw expressed by our presidents as they were introducing their new VPs just really signifies a lot of the fun that we should have on a more consistent basis when doing the work and recognizing one another. And it also resonates because the community discussions that we're going to have this morning really kind of are a chance for us to highlight some of the best things that are happening in our district, some of the best people. These are not the best. These are not necessarily better than any others. These are ones that just pop to our heads most immediately. Back in the fall, one of our alums, Tenzin Selden, stood up here where I am right now on August 18th, and she shared her story. And in sharing her story, she challenged us in this room. She challenged this district to build a Peralta ethos. And she shared what that meant. And what she meant by that personally was that it should not be an accident that students have these amazing transformative interactions with staff and administrators and faculty on our campuses. It should actually be a lot more deliberate. It should be something more consistently experienced by all of our students. And so in order to respond to that, we have today a couple of community discussions. If you don't mind, please, I would like to invite the folks for the first community discussion up to the stage. And as they are coming on up to the stage, the first community discussion is going to be on enhancing campus life. As they are coming up on the stage, I also wanted to just share that one of the community discussions we will not be having this morning, Jessica Murphy from CSU East Bay was not able to make it, but she will be here for the afternoon workshops that she had planned. And I intentionally did not share that information because I wanted to have more time for us up here for our panelists. And so we're grabbing another, thank you. Thank you. There's some more, I'll get some other chairs once we get all settled down. But another thing that we're going to be practicing and trying out today is with the incoming staff development officer, Scott Hoshida, is going to help facilitate some of this discussion. And I would just like to preface it by saying that a friend of mine was recently hired at one of the high-powered Peninsula companies, and he had his 6-month evaluation. And in his 6-month evaluation, they're like, hey, dude, you're doing really good work for us. We really appreciate what you're doing here. But one thing we want to address, and that is you tend to be a little bit slow on some of your projects, and we recognize and we want to honor why you're slow. And part of that is because you're trying to perfect everything. But our way in this particular company is not to perfect it before we put it out there. We do as much research as we possibly can. We are trying to be responsive, and we get it out there when it's like 70% formed, and then let the input that we receive from others on your team, from yourself, from the user, let that improve it. So rather than hold something in forever trying to perfect it before you put it out there, let us put it out there and improve it along the way. And so I share that because what we're going to be doing today in trying to facilitate this community discussion is invite it into a real discussion and take some feedback from you all. And so we wanted to start with this demo of Socrative.com. And so, Scott, do you have a microphone back there? You want to explain it, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. I had another introductory activity, but we'll just go straight to the panelists. And all you need to do is do what you might have already been doing, which is looking at your phone. I'm sitting here in the back on the screen so we can kind of work with this stuff. If you go to socrative.com on your phone or your laptop, you can stop working on your syllabus, is something that I do sometimes when I'm sitting up here. Log into the student login, and you can choose 1 or 2 rooms, Peralta Flex 1 or Peralta Flex 2, and follow the instructions. The first panelist, you can post questions there. You can go back and forth through the questions. We'll be able to have questions for each of the panelists and get some feedback from you at the end of the session. And maybe towards the end, Cleavon, we can do the initial survey around where people are from and that kind of stuff. I'm skipping over that since we have the panelists up here already.
All right, so our first community discussion is going to be facilitated and led by Dr. Herbert Kitchen from Merritt College, who's the Director of Campus Life and Student Activities there. And in this one, we wanted to just highlight the work that Campus Life does and some of the ways that faculty and students are using Campus Life to really enhance, like their agency as students, as learners, in and out of the classroom. So.
Good morning. Good morning. Sounds a little better. We want to welcome you to this session. This is our first time doing this session where we're speaking with you to glean from you to see how you can help us in our roles as student life advisors. The rules are, there aren't any. Will be an open conversation with our panelists and with you to ask us any questions, but we want to learn from you how we can better serve our students. Our panelists will introduce themselves.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. I thought he was going to keep talking. Hi, everyone. I'm Asia. I'm the new Director of Student Activities at College of Alameda. So I just started on January 8th. But I am not new to student affairs, student activities. I've actually worked in the California community colleges, advising student government and overseeing student activities for about 12 years. So that's me and my experience.
My name is Montel Floyd. I'm also a student at Merritt College. I am currently on ASMC as an Inter-Club Council chairperson.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Daisha Richardson. I am a student at Merritt College. I am the ASMC secretary. I am a dual major, health sciences and social and behavioral sciences, and I will be graduating this spring and transferring to Tuskegee University in this fall.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tara. I am a student here at Laney College and sometimes at Alameda. I am currently a math tutor for Mojo Ubaka and an in-class math tutor for Mojo Ubaka, and also an ambassador and part of the teaching committees and other things on campus. Everyone knows I'm very social. I'm currently a math major, and I can proudly say after 4 long off and on years at Laney College, this is my last semester. I'll be graduating with my math degree and transferring to the UC system.
And I want to add that Tara is a wonderful student with Umoja, and she'd like to be a professor, hopefully here at Laney College, so we want to encourage her. I'm Kimberly King. I'm a faculty member here in psychology and African American studies, and I'm the Umoja faculty coordinator here at Laney, and I'm on the PFT Executive Council as the diversity chair.
So Kim, while you have the mic, why don't you just tell us your program and how we can engage with that?
Okay, so I am here at we have Umoja. The Umoja program is a program that exists throughout the community colleges. Just to talk a little bit about our program. So Umoja is a program to help Black students be more successful in college and to transfer from the community colleges to 4-year schools or whatever they want, whatever their educational goals are. As far as student engagement, it's great because we have a village space on campus where students can come and socialize, they can come and study. We have a computer lab there, and they really have a safe space for Black students and other students. All students are welcome. It's just that it's centered around the Black experience and trying to make a supportive area for Black students. We have these workshops, which are one of our most engaging aspects of our work. We have a workshop every other week that we ask our students to come to. It's about a 2-hour session, and we talk about socio-political issues that might be affecting them, as well as study skills and things like that. So some of our topics that have been very interesting are like the history of the Black Panther Party and COINTELPRO, and then students always want to talk about how that relates to what they're facing today and what's going on in society today. We kind of conducted almost like a seminar, so there's like a presentation and then there's a lot of discussion, and I've just been really impressed with how engaged students get into that. We've talked about gentrification and displacement in Oakland. We've talked about mental health issues and health issues. And mass incarceration and the situation for formerly incarcerated students. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about that we do that I think is engaging for students is the teach-in process. So you all probably are familiar with what a teach-in is, especially us older people, because that was something that was done a lot in the 60s and 70s related to, it's an educational experience about a socio-political issue. So it's kind of both educational and political. And so we've been doing these, we've done 6 of them now in the past 3 years. And we have them about once a semester, and we encourage faculty to bring their classes to it. And the organizing committee is faculty, staff, and students. We're trying to get more students involved in the planning process, and I think Tara's going to be more involved this semester. But we do things that connect the big picture and national issues to local issues. So like our first one was about the Flint water crisis, and then we connected, and we had a speaker from Flint, Michigan, and we connected it to gentrification in Oakland. And then our most recent one was called Fighting for Our Communities, Fighting for Our Lives, and it was about gentrification and healthcare and about the A's Stadium and why we didn't think that was a good idea for Laney College or for the community. We try to make the connections between students' experiences on campus and their experiences in their communities and the larger national issues. And yeah, so that's it.
All right, so as you see, we have 3 students on our panel. So we're here because of our students, so we want to hear from them. Since this session panel deals with enhancing campus life, I would like to hear from our students, whoever wants to speak, regarding why you got engaged with student life.
Hello again, my name is Tara. And really quickly, I feel like my experience, everyone has different experience, but me in particular, I got engaged in student life is because growing up in Oakland, Richmond, California, I struggled, had a really hard life growing up, dealt with violence, dealt with homelessness, and I just really wanted to change my path. And when I came to Laney College, I felt like it gave me a second chance. I was able to move forward. I was able to grab the courage from Umoja and ASLC on-campus programs to really move forward with myself and make a better second chance. And I think it's really important to give back to those students in need that don't have a voice or feel like they're lost or feel like they don't belong, and coming to Laney campus and having a community at Moja, having them provide meals for me sometimes, having them provide counseling for me sometimes, having those computer labs, being a part of Moja Ubaka just really changed my life, being part of ASLC and being part of the teach-ins. Being able to talk about political issues. Sometimes you feel like it's taboo to speak about political issues, or sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable for those around you. So to come together and build a community with other students on campus, and for us all to come together and talk about those political issues, talk about what's happening in the community, and also for me to come to Moja Ubaka, being an African-American student, not feeling as I can thrive in math, and seeing that I got the support from Tracy Camp, from Dr. King, to encourage me to be a math tutor after I got an A in one of my lower division math courses, and really climbing up the ladder and being part of the math program here, and just really open in my heart and really wanted to be part of the process of having students succeed, having students move on to the next level, and knowing it don't matter what color, race I am, what culture I come from, where I'm going, that I can be wherever I go, wherever I want to go, and be whatever I want to be. And if I want to be part of a women in STEM, if I want to be a math major, and I can do that. And I want to encourage everybody, no matter what their background is, and particularly students of African American descent, that we can also thrive in STEM and math.
Hi again. So for me, I joined Student Life because I'm a social type of person. I like to get to know people outside of my background. I don't really, care race, gender, sexuality, whatever. I'm just a social butterfly. I joined student government because I wanted to bring compassion and understanding and bring an open heart and open mind to the campus. For me, because I used to get nervous like I am right now, speaking before all of you, but by joining student government, I got to step out of my comfort zone a little bit, learn how to speak more in front of people. I think that's very important. Also, I've gotten a lot of great opportunities by going to community college. A lot of people say, oh, a JC isn't a college, this and that. I'm like, no, it's a college. It's, you're saving money, you're meeting different people, you're networking. I honestly see nothing wrong with community college starting there first. Personally, I like it. I wouldn't have been granted the opportunities that I was if I hadn't started at a JC, and I'm very happy for that. I've enjoyed working with Dr. Kitchen. He's a wonderful advisor. He's very compassionate. He's very opening. He's very, he's an all-around great person. I enjoy meeting Dr. Burns. She is so compassionate. She's nice. She is always there no matter where. You can always knock on her door any time of day. She will make time and hear you out. And I enjoy Merritt College so much. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I joined student government mainly because I had a lot of friends on there. That was my first one. My friends like, come help me, come help me. 'Cause that wasn't my direction when I first started at Merritt College. But as soon as I joined, I seen the lack of spirit at Merritt College. And I was like, I want to see where I can take this. So the next year after that, I ran for ICC chairperson. And now Merritt's, we're still working on it, but it's getting bigger and better. And I like the spirit on the campus. And I wanted to see the students enjoy it. Because a lot of students come out of high school and they think that they'd have to go to class and just go home. It's campus life. It's just not, just because we're a 2-year don't mean we can't act as a high school or a university. We can have events on campus, we have plays, and I want more students to get engaged in the activities on campus because that brings them happiness after they're already stressed out from the classes and everything. So that was the reason why I joined it, and the opportunities going to DC with Peralta was amazing. Like things that I didn't get to do with other campuses I've been on. This is my 3rd community college I've been active in. So being at Merritt and being at Peralta period has been the most amazing experience for me.